One of the two systems of units we're going to study is variously called the US system, the imperial system, and the customary system. These are the units of measure that are most familiar to those of us that grew up in the United States. For distance, the smallest unit that we frequently use is inches. And then the next larger unit is feet, with 1 foot equal to 12 inches. After feet, we have yards, with 1 yard equal to 3 feet. And after yards, we have miles. Now, miles are a very long distance, and we have two commonly quoted facts about miles. We have 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, or 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. There are shorter units than inches that appear in the customary system, but nobody ever uses them anymore, so we're not going to bother with them. For capacity, which we usually think of as just volume, that is, amount of something, often amount of a liquid or something that flows like flour. We have the smallest unit that we commonly use is teaspoons. And because this is the only really confusing abbreviation I'm going to mention, we abbreviate teaspoons little t, or little tsp. The next larger unit is tablespoons, with 1 tablespoon equal to 3 teaspoons. And we abbreviate tablespoon capital T, or capital TBSP. So be aware of these abbreviations. I'm not going to hold you responsible for them, but I may use them. After tablespoons, we have the confusingly named fluid ounce, which sounds like it should be a unit of weight, but isn't. And 1 fluid ounce is equal to 2 tablespoons. After fluid ounces, we have cups. And I'm going to give you 2 facts about converting involving cups. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. Also, 1 cup is 16 tablespoons. Pints are the next measurement up from cups. 1 pint is 2 cups. We might also care about the fact that 1 pint is 16 fluid ounces. After pints comes quarts, with 1 quart equaling 2 pints, or more often we'll want to convert with 1 quart equaling 4 cups. And finally, we have gallons, with 1 gallon equaling 4 quarts. Quart is like quarter. A quart is a quarter of a gallon. There are units of capacity beyond gallons, but again, they're very rarely used. The last collection of customary units I'm going to mention are weight. Now, the smallest unit of weight we frequently use is the ounce, but we are going to meet a unit 1 smaller than the ounce, the dram. A dram is very, very small. It was used by pharmacists before the metric system came along and made their lives simple. It's so small that 1 ounce equals 16 drams. Ounces also have a weird abbreviation. It's abbreviated OZ. Pounds are the unit that we see used for weight most often. They're what we use when, for example, we weigh ourselves, or on the other hand, when we order deli meat. 1 pound is 16 ounces. Pounds have the weirdest abbreviation of them all. They're abbreviated LB. And finally, the largest unit of weight in the common system is tons, with 1 ton equaling 2,000 pounds. Do you need to memorize all of these units? No, you do not need to memorize all of these units. You should have your notes on these units accessible to you, but you do not need to have them memorized. The last thing to be aware of in the customary units is, in the customary system, we typically describe parts of units with fractions, not with decimals. So for example, it would be much more normal to say 3 1/4 inches, not 3.25 inches. Let's see some examples of converting within the customary system, keeping in mind that sometimes we're going to get fractions in our answers. Let's suppose we wanted to convert 84 inches to feet. We are aware that 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. So we would write our 84 inches over 1. And then we would say, let's see, when we multiply, we would like inches to cancel out. So we'll have 12 inches equals 1 foot. When we multiply that, inches will indeed cancel out, and we'll have 84 over 12 feet. Let's actually do this division. 12 goes into 84, I think 7 times. Let's see, 12 times 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 plus 1 is 8, yeah. 12 goes into 84 7 times with nothing left over. So this is exactly 7 feet. Let's see an example that's not going to work out as evenly. Let's say we wanted to convert 30 tablespoons to cups, knowing that 1 cup is 16 tablespoons. Well, we would take our 30 tablespoons, write it over 1. When we convert, we want to get rid of tablespoons, and so we'll have our 16 tablespoons to 1 cup. Tablespoons do indeed cancel out, and so we're left with 30 over 16 cups. Doing this division, I think 16 only goes into 30 once. 10 minus 6 is 4, 2 minus 1 is 1. Yeah, so I have 30 divided by 16 is 1 whole cup and 14/16 of a cup. We can simplify this fraction. 14 and 16 have a common factor of 2, so 14/16 is the same as 7/8. This is 1 and 7/8 cups. Let's try one where we're going to want to do multiplication instead of division. Let's suppose we want to convert 8½ pounds to ounces, knowing that 1 pound is the same as 16 ounces. So we'll write our 8½ pounds over 1. Let's see. I want to get rid of pounds, so I'll have to have 1 pound in the denominator and 16 ounces in the numerator. I see that pounds really will cancel, and I'll be left with 8½ times 16 over 1 ounces. To multiply 8½ times 16, what do I need to do? I need to go to an improper fraction. 8½ will equal, well, each whole unit is 2 halves, plus the 1 half I had already. I have 16 17 halves. So I'm multiplying 17 halves times 16 over 1. That'll be 17 times 16 over 2 times 1. I see that 2 goes into 16. In fact, 16 is 8 times 2. Common factor of 2 cancels out. I'm left with just 1 in the denominator. So I'll just have 17 times 8, which I'll work out. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 1 is 8, and 5 is 13. So this works out to 136. This is 136 ounces. I'm going to have you try one of these now. Convert 45 feet to yards, knowing that 1 yard is 3 feet. Pause the video and try this now. Alright, I'll start with my 45 feet over 1, and I want to get rid of feet, so I'll have my 3 feet equals 1 yard, and I see that when I do that multiplication, feet will indeed cancel, and I'll be left with 45 over 3 yards. Doing that division, 3 goes into 45, 3 goes into 4 one time, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 left. Bring down the 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times, with nothing left. So we have exactly 15 yards.